Good morning and welcome to What Thad Thinks, your number one podcast that covers what Thad thinks and not Neel in the entire country. This is brought to you by Better Beans Branding, the number one branding, design, construction, and remodel company in the country, specializing in schools and other retail businesses out there. I want to thank you for your encouragement on this podcast. We've had a blast. The texts and calls and craziness that I continue to get is unbelievable. I also want to give a shout out to our friend up in the Maryland and DC area, Peter Cromwell, for jumping in and giving me a lot of help with the nonprofit world this week. So if he's listening, or if you're a friend of Peter's, tell him that you heard him on the podcast this week. Great friend, great helper. Hopefully Peter's listening too, so he may be. But welcome to episode 6, and I guess I'll start by bringing in the person you don't want to hear from, but we'll bring him on real quick just to get his take on some things. Neel, how are you?
Happy episode 6. I'm well.
That's good. Yeah, I'm going to give us a pat on the back. We have been incredibly disciplined. Some of these years we stay so busy, we'll skip a few weeks or we'll do something, and it's hard to stay on track with this podcast because it does take a good bit of work and effort and energy to kind of carve that time out each week. But wow, we have been disciplined so far. It is almost the end of March. We're going to finish the first quarter having done every other week. This would be, you know what I mean? 12 weeks, 6 episodes.
Yeah. Congratulations. Producer Pepini has a lot to do with that, so shout out to her.
I would say, Piper, our Better Beans director of social media and content marketing guru. She has been amazing for us, for sure. We also have, we have 4 mini, not good behavior, but Thad behavior episodes that have come out as well. So, really that's just content galore for your listening pleasure out there, people, right? Isn't that what we've been doing?
That is.
And we have had a lot of people reach out. It's been awesome. We do not have enough reviews, however. It's embarrassing when you pull up Spotify and it's like 4 reviews. I think we still have a lot of listeners that reviewed us years ago. Like, it would be nice if you updated it and gave some content for us on all platforms, whether it be Spotify or Apple Podcasts or YouTube. Like, we need them everywhere. So just don't do them one place. So as you get time, understand that would be a minor request from your host. And that's what I think. If you support this content, then give us some daggum reviews. And then I'm going to announce at the end of this another little contest. I'm announcing at the end today. We have 50 entrants in the What Thad Thinks bracket contest. People are excited to get their $250 in signed, autographed basketball from Neel and Thad.
If we have 50 entrants, those ought to be 50 reviews then too.
Well, you would think. But, especially since we're giving out a free prize for a free contest, and an autographed basketball and $250, that's a big prize.
Wow.
That's a big prize. Probably.
That is. Signed basketball, not just a basketball.
Depending on what you think the basketball is worth, this could be a $10,000 prize, right? It's $250 of cash and $9,750 worth of prize value in that autographed basketball.
Yeah, you might as well insure the basketball.
Well, yeah. You could at least add it to your contents coverage of your insurance, right?
Whoever wins it, I hope that there will be a monument for it in their office, like on a stand, a pedestal.
I think we're definitely going to have the winner on. Now, depending on where they are and what their video is set up, we need to have them on video as well.
Okay, sure.
Live, meaning we record this 2 days before it posts.
Okay, interesting.
Majority of unedited. Sometimes Neel uses foul language. We have to edit.
We'll have real reactions to a winning basketball.
Isn't that what happens? Sometimes I think Piper has to cut your foul language you get into sometimes on the show.
My foul language. Cursing has gone down in my years. Yours too.
Well,
yes.
Early in my career, I was so fresh out of the Marine Corps that cursing was just every adjective. That was the only adjective you used. Every time you had a noun, you had to add a cuss word in front of it. So certainly something I have to pray about. But you and I traveled, as we talked about the NCAA bracket. I think this is maybe year 6 in a row that we've now done.
I think it's 7.
Headed somewhere to watch the first day, Thursday, of NCAA tournament action. And we swear every year we're going to stay till Sunday, 1 year. 1 year we're going to stay 4 days. We're going to be 70 before we finally pull that off. It'll probably
That's not
only
far
be
for you.
70.
Yeah.
I know you think that's funny, but you're so much older than me, and everybody knows that you have no hair, and I am younger.
Not far.
Okay. It's 20 years away, Neel. That's a long way.
Well, we're 1/4 of the
20
way
years
there.
away. I don't know where that came from. And that's why we say what Dad thinks, not Neel. Like, you're not funny. And when I make age or funny jokes, like, it is funny. And number one, because you're older. Number two, you don't have as much hair as me. Number three, I have more thoughts. All these things happen that pile
Well,
up.
maybe.
Funny that you tried to match me today too. So, anyways, Neel, you and I got to travel a little bit last week, right?
We did.
Did we have fun or what?
Always.
Such a blast. I look forward to that time,
Always.
that one day with you, which is about all I can take. But we had that travel. So I heard you did some more traveling as well, after you left.
Yeah. Planned to drive to Memphis, which ended up as a flight to Memphis from Atlanta. Yeah. That was National Child Care Association Conference. Thank you to them for extending the invitation. Big shout out to Jamie Reckemer on that.
That's cool. Propping up my feet and turning sideways. I hope that's a good look here today. So traveled to Memphis.
Yep.
Okay.
Put a little networking time in, meet some new possible clients, talk, continue to build relationships with the ones that we have that are out there. Good
Yep.
time.
Good. Tell me more about Memphis.
I think you're goading me.
What do you mean?
Now I just figured out what Piper was alluding to in our show prep.
What are you talking about?
Well, I have a story. Is that what you want to hear?
Yeah.
I'll give you the Reader's Digest version.
No. I mean, you are a bad storyteller sometimes because you try to go Reader's Digest and then it's not funny. So we'd like to hear
This
the story.
isn't funny.
I know, it's
There's
a
no
learning
humor here,
experience.
so
it's a learning experience.
But
go ahead.
so look, we're Friday night going to dinner, which is typical at these conferences. In this scenario, went to dinner outside of the hotel and going with a group of friends and people that you know regularly. Walking
Who'd
through,
you go to dinner with? Who'd you go to dinner with?
The Vincents,
Okay.
Sasha and David from Kids Are Kids, and Danielle.
Okay. Oh, so you
and
went with Kids Are Kids.
Sydney.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And went to dinner in Memphis. I don't know much about Memphis other than Beale Street. I perceive in a small tourist little part of town, it should be a safe place. And we are turning the corner around the hotel, a block away from our hotel by this point, 2 blocks away. And all of a sudden, pow, 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 pow. And 20 people, 25 people come running past us and around the corner. He's got a gun. He's shooting. He's firing. And in those moments, lots of adrenaline and children were getting picked up like footballs and people running in all different directions. It was scary. I think we were probably 10 to 20 yards away from being in the middle of it.
10 yards from being in the middle of it?
20 yards away from being in the middle of it, yeah.
You said 10.
Okay,
I mean,
I'm saying
10
20
yards,
now.
like you could identify the shooter.
Yeah, one of us had turned the corner already, and the noise was so loud from that spot that now I had not yet turned the corner, so I could not have identified a shooter. But it was pure chaos.
So, first off, Memphis is a trash pit. No offense to people in Memphis. Used to be a pretty nice city.
Good barbecue.
I wouldn't go. I mean, when you told me that the day before you were going to Memphis, I literally almost said, like, why are you going to Memphis? Like, Memphis is a bad choice unless you're like at the airport where there's security, which there's not really security at airports anymore.
Different topic, different day.
But yeah, different topic. But but really, like, Memphis is awful. It's like a third world country.
It was scary.
It was bad before COVID. Post COVID, some cities never opened back up. I mean, Memphis and really that the Mississippi River corridor of like Memphis and St. Louis. I mean, to me, New Orleans. Not to me, New Orleans. I mean, they are rough, man. You don't go to those places anymore. Like, period. No shot. Dangerous. They're dangerous.
That's my story.
Did you learn anything from that?
No.
Did you pee on yourself?
Pardon?
Did you pee on yourself?
I did not.
What did you do in the panic moment? I mean, who could I talk to about gauging your reactions in that moment of people getting shot?
Probably Danielle Millman.
And she would tell me what about your reaction?
Well, what do you think, since you know me very well, what do you think my reaction was?
I mean, you like extremely panicked and like ran for the hills, or like completely dumb and did not know what to do and you almost froze. And then post that, you cried.
I would say at some point in the evening, I probably shed a tear. It was incredibly scary. In that moment, I'm pretty sure I froze for a split second because I thought it was a fake. I saw people with phones out and I tried to get their attention to tell them to stop and come on. And so, yeah, I do want to say something here. And, I don't know our listeners' level of spirituality and God fearing and God believing, but that evening, about half hour earlier, we were on a rooftop deck doing the typical social gathering that the event planners were hosting. And a lady had dropped a fairly large glass of red wine all over Neel and all over my blue shirt and my jacket. And so I mentioned to the group of people that we're going to dinner with just moments from that point, hey, I got to go back to the room and change. And you look at that moment and you think about what a nuisance. I still have that blue shirt with red wine all over it. What a nuisance that was, and how bad that was with red wine spilled all over me. But literally that 5 minutes of extra time that I needed in the hotel to change shirts and change clothes and have everybody waiting on me down in the lobby may have been the 5 minutes that we needed not being in the middle of it all. And I think that's God.
Well, good. Really, I mean, this seemed like a really serious topic. I thought this was going to be funnier.
I told you it
But
wasn't
I
funny.
know. Here's the thing. I cannot wait to talk to the Vincents about how you reacted. I cannot wait to talk to Danielle about how you reacted, because I know, like, you seem all in control about this in the moment, and I think you're glazing yourself to make it sound like you're a little more sensitive and kind of dialed in. But like, I know Neel. I mean, I know the Bake Boy story. I know bachelor party stories. I know many a story with me and Neel, and they never were this composed. I mean, that you almost made a really cool situation sound boring. Like, Piper, are you wondering now? Do you better understand why this is called What Thad Thinks and not Neel? Like, didn't he make a really good story boring? No comment. She said no comment. That's because you made it boring. I love you. Made it boring. I should have gotten all the details from everybody and then sprung it on you and really made that a more fun.
Okay,
I mean,
I'm
it's
going to
fine. We
admit,
may have to edit this out. It was so boring.
you may.
I may. Or at least cut a lot of it out.
Have fun with that, Piper.
I mean, Lord, I mean, just maybe we could edit. I mean, maybe we just got to find some other information on it, because it was just, yeah, boring.
What a jerk.
What do you mean I'm a jerk? I thought it was going to be great, and you like made yourself out to sound like some sensitive, grounded, human, and made nothing exciting about the situation. I mean, it could have been, we feared for our lives and we went around the corner and I was trying to get people's phones from them. I mean, it could have been anything fun. And they're like,
Okay.
I'm glad you're alive though, brother. I'm glad you're alive. I was in a similar situation, like, I think the same week last year, in Dallas at a cheer competition.
You were.
If you can remember the news there, when there was literally 100,000 people in the Dallas Convention Center and everybody trampling each other getting out of there because someone yelled gun in the building while two people were fighting. And there was nothing but 50,000 cheerleaders in their full makeup and mascara running in full panic mode outside of a building, and parents that couldn't find their kids. That was wow. And I gave you some details that made it a little more fun there. Mascara running, girls in cheerleader outfits looking silly, lost parents panicking. I'm just trying to show you how to tell a story.
Got it. I'm practicing this one. I'm preparing something here. So I got it. Thank you for that.
Yeah, you want
advice.
to tell a prepared story. Do you understand? Like, how many of my stories do you think I prepare? I don't.
None.
Because they're my stories. There's nothing to prepare.
Hey,
It's all right.
speaking of travel, did you see Delta's announcement of the suspension of congressional perks during the shutdown?
Should I be worried about the wait times right now? I mean, I'm flying out next week.
I think so. You don't have a history of being the early arriver to airports.
No, I get there at the last possible minute. I mean, I'm traveling with family on this one, so I don't think I'll be able to get there an hour ahead of time, and nor do I want to risk that for family vacation. But,
No.
These are kind of crazy. So Delta has said what now? Can you make it sound
Delta
simpler?
has suspended congressional service perks during the shutdown so that they could use resources better.
They have suspended congressional service perks.
Yeah, so if you're
a member of Congress... Okay, let's reduce this down to the common denominator. Can you not sound so boring?
If you're a member of Congress and you fly Delta,
hold on. So Delta has suspended free airfare for senators.
No. You can buy your ticket still, but they get
I just said they suspended free airfare.
I did not
That's
say
not buying
that.
a ticket. So
Buddy, you're not listening.
What's the perk?
They get escorts through and around the airport faster through security, all sorts of Delta perks.
What do you mean all sorts? What are they? Don't say all sorts.
I just gave you a great one.
It's
They
one.
get escorted
But
on
you
and
said
off
all,
planes
but then you said all sorts. You
before
gave me
and
one.
after the
Is
flight.
the only perk
faster
they've
than anyone.
suspended. We're going to talk over each other. That's fine. Is the
Go
only
ahead.
perk they've suspended is an escort? Because you
No.
said,
Okay.
maybe you weren't telling the truth. You said all sorts of perks. Let's see if this is a virtue signal from Delta or a load of horse manure. What perks have been suspended by Delta?
Special reservation lines. So
who the
how
hell
they
gets in a reservation line? Who, Neel? Who gets in a reservation line at the airport? Literally nobody. What is this, like 1958? You can't get in line for reservation. What are you talking about? You walk in the airport and go, I need the reservation line. People look at you like got nine heads. Give me what they really did. Delta do anything, Neel?
Delta took away their escorts and moving.
Did you just go back and say escort again?
That's
Neel,
enough.
You can't just keep saying escort. You told
even
me,
if it's virtue signal, it's a great
Neel. Okay, let's stop.
idea.
Let's stop, Neel. Neel, stop. You can't keep saying the same perk. You can't keep saying the same perk because you're the one that said they suspended all sorts of perks, and you've only come up with one.
I'm Googling. Hold, please. I don't know what they are. Whatever the redcoats do.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Did you just write this down? Did you find an article? Did you read something, or what?
I read an article.
You just saw like a CNN headline or I bet like a Yahoo, because nobody but Grandpa's go on like the Yahoo news page. Is that you?
You know I did. What's your point?
I do not know you did.
It doesn't matter where it came from.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
I'm asking you if it's
Neel,
a relevant
I am literally,
tactic.
This is almost like this is going to be episode 6. Neel gets canceled.
You won't. You can't.
I have to.
Redcoat Delta Services perks.
Okay, so all the redcoats have been kicked out?
No, what they're doing is they're
so
not.
The only perk that has been cut out are the redcoats, which you don't know what, you don't fly Delta enough to know what the redcoats do?
I've not used them, so
they're
I don't know.
They're basically the customer service managers, and they're they're a higher level. They do the same. They'll be the ticket agent. Sometimes they'll be that, but the redcoats are a higher level of service, and if they're escorting congressmen around, okay, whatever, that got cut out. So if you say Delta cut that out, okay, no skin off Delta's back. They virtue signaled, whatever. Correct. Probably didn't.
Correct.
Probably not saving them too much money, but whatever. Sure. What's your question?
I just wanted to know what you thought about it, but it's clear what you think about it. Is it you think it's a virtue signal?
It's fine. At least it tells the world. I'm fine if they do. If you just want to call it a virtue signal. Hey, look, we don't get to do too much, but you congressmen, we're not going to escort you around the building when we can't even get our customers on flights on time because you're locking people out being silly. So until y'all get that fixed, you don't get escorts. Yes. I don't like the word escorts either. I feel like every time I say the word escort, I'm saying something dirty. You're reading. Why are you reading? You still trying to find what you should have found before the show? Because I watch your eyes. You're trying to find stuff you should have found before the show.
Didn't anticipate having to define perks, but
maybe instead of going out in downtown Memphis, you could have been researching show topics. You have one little section to do, one little current event section. And literally, you could spend 45 minutes when you're dead scrolling at night. You could be finding this stuff and writing notes down instead of like watching silly reels.
On CNN.
On Yahoo.
On Yahoo.
Nobody. I mean, I don't even know if Piper knows who Yahoo is. She's never been to their landing page. I promise. My blood pressure is so high right now.
How is that possible?
No, it's just like having another child in my house. Like it just invites you into this podcast. Stop. Oh, I'm not stopping. All right.
Speaking of children, New Mexico has awarded the plaintiffs in a class suit against Meta $375 million for harmful practices on Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp, claiming or finding that that they agree with the plaintiffs that essentially Meta exposes children to crime and predators and that their safety mechanisms don't fulfill the needs of children online. So, apart from that being a lot of money in one state, and obviously more states can follow suit now.
Well, yeah, it would probably be like New Mexico's probably in the bottom 15 or 20, bottom 15 states of population, I would guess.
Have to be, right?
Yeah, probably bottom 10. So they're in the bottom 10. So like you're not going to multiply that number but times 50. You're probably going to multiply that number times 200.
Yeah.
So what's the number? What did they?
$375 million.
375 mil, 375 million. Are you sure that's it?
Yes.
Okay, so 375 million times 200. That's a lot. It's gotta be like 20 billion or something, right? I'm gonna do the math on my phone. 75 billion.
Well, that's called a bankrupt company. They wouldn't pay that.
Well, yeah, let's bring that up. Okay, so first off, my thoughts would be number one is there's nothing, in my opinion, more important than protecting our children and protecting their future and protecting what they see, keeping them young. Yeah, nothing more important except liberty and freedom. But why do you need Facebook or Meta to protect kids? If you don't like that practice, Neel, shouldn't you just cancel Meta for you and your family and
Yes.
get your neighborhood to cancel Meta and send a letter a week to Meta and demand that they add protections and use your influence? Like, why are we using government? And I think that's where we've gotten into our problems. And we're going to talk about this a little bit and what Thad thinks later on, briefly, in our business topic today. Not this specifically, but the fact of wanting other people to fight your fights. And so many people want the government to fight their fights. Just kind of like, if you've seen some of those reels where, the gotcha right wing guy will go like on the street and find some people protesting and they'll have someone with them and said, "Hey, I'm here with, he's speaking to someone protesting and he's got somebody behind him. He goes, "Hey, I'm here with Jose." And they're like, "Hey, how you doing?" He goes, "Jose's an illegal immigrant." And they're like, "Hey, whatever," and then they'll go, "Can Jose move in your house? Can he stay with y'all tonight?" And then the protester goes, "Well, they can't stay. I mean, they can't stay in my house. I don't know him or whatever." And thus proving the right wing guy's point of, yeah, you can't let people in our country. Like you're saying, I got no problem for y'all to house them or for someone else to do it, but not in my house, right? And I think that's the same kind of thing that we're saying here is that we want other people to fight our fights for us. And I don't think that's, like, look, we need to be fighting these companies that deal in filth. I mean, did you see the OnlyFans founder died?
No.
Yeah. And I didn't get the full rundown on it, but the OnlyFans founder died at like 43, right? And hey, no offense, or I don't care if I offend. I mean, smut, filth, garbage. That OnlyFans has ruined many a young lady's life, in my opinion, and many men and couples. And I don't want to go down a rabbit hole of all the problems I think we have in this world. But do I think pornography and those things should be banned? No, I don't think it's the government's job to get in there and get rid of that. Yes, it's damaging minds, but I think it's parents and it's pressure. I do think we just need people to pressure folks more to do the right thing, but we don't need the government to take that over to keep our kids safe. But we do need to teach them to make good decisions. I hate it for Meta and for a million other companies that are now going to have to deal with, okay, if you fail to keep children safe from viewing bad things, you can be sued and lose your business. I mean, that makes no sense. And where is the $375 million going to go, Neel? To the state of New Mexico? No wonder they're spending all the damn money to file lawsuits.
Yeah, and then surely they're going to distribute that properly.
Oh, is that how they're going to do free childcare in New Mexico?
Yeah, no chance.
Remember, because they passed the old, we're going to give free childcare to everybody. Well, how are you going to pay for it? Well, we don't really know that yet. Okay.
Mark Zuckerberg's paying for childcare now.
No, that's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. I had a lot of other fun topics for us to talk about where you didn't make me so mad. But, we don't get to talk about those anymore. I'm going to be on a roll.
Do you need to breathe for a minute?
Breathe from what? Are you leaving?
Take it easy for a second.
That'll give me my breath. Like I'm looking at your head over here and I'm getting fired up. And I loved you so much last week.
Did you?
I got to see you. Did I? When we got to hang out?
Oh, you mean that day? I meant online. I meant online. Whatever.
All right.
You'll see me again next week. And next week, we'll have 2 days together.
At the Kids Are Kids conference?
Yeah, I believe so.
A day. I won't be there. I'll be there for 2 days. You'll get to enjoy me when I speak.
Go on.
Because I know you love to hear from me. I've only been listening to me for 20 years. I'm sure another couple hours of listening to me tell the same stuff.
I'm not talking about listening to you. I'm talking about we will spend time together with some of our teammates for 2 days, Sunday and Monday.
That's true.
Tuesday.
That's true. moving on. I feel like it's time for move on to the business topic this week. So this is part 3 of our 3-part series. The first time we've done a multiple part series, guys, and I want our fans to give us some credit for sticking in there with the 3-part series. 3-part series on leading from strength. Strong leaders lead from strength. People who lead from strength are strong leaders. We talked about what that means. It was a 3-part series. It should be a 4-part series. We skipped part 1, and that became the intro, which part 1 was having 2 things. Number 1 was having your core values. Your core values are your absolute truths. You know, think about those as your company Bible. Those are the things, those are your values. That's who you're going to be. You're going to filter all your decisions through those core values. That is what's absolutely true. You know, that is in real life. Murder is bad. Right? That's a core value that, you know, most people have. So whatever your core value is, those that you share as a company, those have to be how you manage your decisions. You have to talk about them, et cetera, et cetera. Then the second part that we skipped, because we've got other content on it, guys, is about having a mission statement or a company mission. And that to me, so you have your core values, which, you know, that's your absolute truth. Your mission is your compass or your direction. Right? This is what we're going to do. This is who we are, core values. This is what we're going to do. That's our mission. Hopefully that makes sense. We skipped over a lot of that content because we've had other content on it before. But hey, feel free to send an email at info@betterbeansbranding.com or shout out one of us on our socials, and we'd be more than happy to kind of back up and give you a part, you know, a 3-part series addendum and give you another piece of that. But that was not part 1. That was pre-part 1. Part 1 was, hey, we spent an entire episode on quality of relationships, right? If you want to lead from strength, your relationships with all 5 categories of people your business and you come in contact with need to be strong. So those 5 relationships were with your customers, with your bosses or your mentors, with your coworkers, people that are your equals, with your employees, and with your vendors. All 5 of those relationships you need to have an intentional action plan for, and that you need to be trying to have very strong relationships with each of those. Because if you want to be a strong leader, you've got to have those people to call on, those people that have your back, people that you're not afraid to lose. Those quality relationships are going to matter. Have an intentional plan for all 5 of those if you want to be able to lead from strength. And that was part 1. Part 2, we gave you 2 things to focus on in part 2. Number 1 was having your knowledge of operations. You need to know how to do the job, what the job entails, know the standards, know the questions, know the tests, know the answers, know how to train a job. If you want to be able to lead from strength, you need to be able to train it. You need to be able to teach it. You need to be able to coach it. You need to be able to notice it quick. You need to be an expert on the content. Mm-hmm. Have that knowledge of operations if you want to build a lead from strength. The second part of part 2 was your willingness to confront. And we've said this over and over. I still believe that the number 1 trait of a great leader, and we did a study on this too, you know, and amongst other childcare owners in the country, and identifying strong characteristics. And we found that the number 1 trait to be able to be a regional manager is your willingness to confront. And that is confront good and confront bad, but your willingness to confront, meaning you don't mind facing the customer. You don't mind facing the employee. You're going to do it and do it then. Like if I go away from work mad at somebody, I can't sleep that night if I have not talked to them and gotten it out. That's how ingrained confrontation is with me. I mean, my wife will tell you it's just because I like to stir the pot. That's not the truth. What I really like to do is get to the bottom, peel all the layers back on an onion so that I really have a good understanding and I don't get surprised by anything. I'm going to confront it. I don't want to be surprised. If I have a customer that's going to leave me, I want to find out the day they're going to leave me. I don't want to find out, you know, 3 months later and the situation be solved. Because, you know, one thing is, you know, customers will lie. Very rarely do customers tell you why they're leaving or why whatever. They almost never leave you for like no reason.
Yeah, there's always a reason.
There's a reason they leave you.
Right? And it's rarely we're moving.
Oh, it's never they moved, you know, whatever. It's always an attitude or level of indifference or a stubborn problem that you've been unable to solve. So knowledge of operations, willingness to confront, that was part 2. That's what we covered 2 weeks ago. And then today gets into part 3, and we've got 2 things to kind of cover on that today. This is one very sensitive to me, and I mean it a bunch. If you want to be able to lead from strength, you got to be willing to take the bullets yourself. To the best of your knowledge, Neel, how long has the Russian-Ukraine war been going on? And how long has America been giving money to it?
Let's go a little over a year. Year and a half? It's
4
been
years.
Pardon me?
I'll look that up. It's 3 or 4 years.
My if that's right,
That's how
then
long that's been going.
my,
I'm looking it up for you so you don't have to.
that'd be 2022?
Yeah, 2022.
Wow, that's awful.
February of 2022. So we're at 4 years now. And we've been giving billions and billions of dollars. Americans have been giving billions and billions of dollars to Ukraine to fight that war. Why'd you look at me like that? You don't believe
No,
we've given billions?
I'm interested in this take here. Like, okay, go ahead.
Okay, so we've been giving them billions of dollars. With that money, what does Ukraine do with that money?
Weaponize, get defense systems,
Pay
hire
soldiers,
armies. Yeah,
buy stuff, and go fight the
yeah,
war.
yes.
So we're basically funding them to have their people die. Under any circumstances, Ukraine going to beat Russia in a war? Like, is that ever going to happen?
Not on their own.
It's just not going to happen. But why has it been allowed to go on for 4 years? Well, because we fund it, right? I mean, it would be over. Without all of our munitions and financial support,
Yes. Yeah.
the war would be
factual.
over,
Sure.
right? So it's been going on for 4 years and people are getting killed. But the reason it's very easy to give money to something that you're not sending people to die. You want to know why this Israel, Iran, U.S. conflict is going to end fairly quickly? Because we're sending people ourselves. We're fighting ourselves. I mean, listen, this is my opinion, right? You want to know why, like, that I think Biden was a weak leader? It's because he wasn't willing to take bullets or send our people to end things quickly. He would rather send money and say that's our support of Ukraine. Well, that's not support. You want to support them and send our people over there to die. But they know as soon as we send people over there to die, you're not going to get reelected. So you're telling me you're willing to send money, but not your son?
It would appear so. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the same with Biden, the same with Obama. Same thing over and over again. We're willing to send money. In fact, I mean, let's not get into it, but Obama and Biden sent Iran billions of cash on a plane instead of fighting and towing a line. I don't want to get it. I'm not making this point political. I'm making this point is if you want to lead from strength, be willing to take bullets. Don't just send money overseas. Don't just order others to take bullets for you. Okay, Ukraine, we'll give you money. That way we look good, but it's your kids that are dying.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I get it. I see your point. I don't want Americans going to war there for something I don't understand.
But I guarantee you were one of the people thinking about flying that flag and supporting Ukraine money, getting money in their fight against Russia, because that was the propaganda we were seeing on TV. And I know on Yahoo, that's exactly what it said, where you get your news.
Yahoo.
I mean, look, what I'm saying is I have a lot more respect for people, but you understand, like, it's very easy if you're not willing to take the bullet. It's very easy if let's say I'm a director of a center, right? And I've got a customer we know is a problem. Not a problem. The customer always has a problem. We had something that come up. There's bad news to give them, right? The good director calls them on the phone and says, Mrs. Joyner, Jimmy got hurt on the playground and we weren't paying attention, whatever. The swing was too high, it's going too high, whatever the news was, you get on the phone. But this is what we're going to do for it. And when you get here today, just pull me to the side. I'm going to give you our 10-point action plan and show you what we got. Then Mrs. Joyner walks in the door. They go over the action plan. They show what they did wrong. They're willing to share video. They're willing to say how they screwed up. And they're willing to give an action plan on how they're going to do it, right? That's a good, willing to take the bullets director. Would you agree?
Yes.
And the crappy director that isn't willing to take the bullets tells the teacher to fill out an accident report, waits for the customer to get there, and they kind of hide and let the teacher take the damn bullets of telling that parent the bad problem. That leader is not leading from strength because they ain't willing to take the bullets. Now, if I've over and over and over again taken the bullets with this family, I have no problem if I go to tell that teacher, hey, you're going to have to face this customer and give them their action plan because they keep hearing it from me. Today it's you. And they will have no problem doing so. That teacher will have no problem doing so because I've done it every time. They know I'm willing to take the bullets, right?
Right.
That's leading from strength. And you know what? If, let's say, Syria rises up 6 months from now and wants to have a nuclear program, they're going to think twice. If Trump says stop, they're going to probably need to stop, right? Or they're going to lose it all. We're willing to step up and we're willing to sacrifice things and people and take bullets if we have to protect ourselves and to protect our allies from nuclear weapons.
Yeah,
That's a friend, correct?
I'm with you. I'm tracking that. I didn't think this would go there, but yes, I understand it.
What do you mean it wouldn't go there? It went there. We're talking about taking bullets. We're talking about a director, a leader that leads from strength and takes bullets. So, I mean, another way that I put that is, it's like the cows and the buffaloes, right? Do you remember the cow and the buffalo story? Yeah, you do.
Sort of. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, I mean, and hopefully people know this, and it's a great little story. So, cows, when they see us, when they're out there roaming the range, right, and the storm comes in, they start running away from it. And then when the storm catches them, they're in it longer because they're running with the storm, and they're staying with the storm. Where the buffaloes see dark clouds and a storm coming, they run to it and through it and get out the other side quicker. They're in and out of the storm quicker.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're willing to take bullets. If we want to get, I mean, I promise you, anytime you want to fight in quick, make the person jaw and fight. I know that seems like elementary, right? I don't think people fist fight enough anymore. That's an awful take. Like, what I'm saying is that a lot of people run their mouth because they've never been punched in the mouth.
True.
It's really easy to type nasty emails.
Yeah, keyboard bully is pretty easy to do.
Yeah, it's really easy
Keyboard
to bully until
intimidation.
you realize someone's can punch you in the face.
Mhm.
And then they get punched in the face. They go, well, that guy that punched me was a bully. No, you just shouldn't run your mouth unless you understand the consequences. But anyway, willing to take bullets. That's a big one. If you want to lead, I always say, strong leaders are willing to sacrifice. They're willing to take bullets. They understand that they're going to have to lose something to gain something, or lose something to show that they're a strong leader. And they lead from the front of the line. We talked about that with General Patton, I think our greatest wartime general of all time in World War II, and how much stuff how much territory he was able to cover from northern Africa, all the way through Italy, and into southern Europe. I mean, holy crap, he covered more than anybody, but he led from the front of the line. He was willing to take bullets, and his people were willing to take them for him because that dude was a stud. Going to the fight or sending money so the fight is out of sight. I think that's the difference. Voicing your support, is kind of awful. Your friend's grandparent or friend's mom or something is in the hospital, and so you send a text message, thoughts and prayers. Okay, that's good. If you really pray, if you really think, or you just saying BS and to keep it out of your mind. Or are you going over there and fixing a meal for him sometime? Are you doing something? Are you taking the bullets yourself? Anyway, if you want to lead from strength, we've gone over the part 3. You want to lead from strength, be willing to take bullets. And the next part of today, so it'd be like the 7th way to lead from strength. The 7th way to lead from strength. R&R, baby. Love this one. Recognize and reward regularly. And do not pull a Neel and overcomplicate this. Recognition and rewarding should be like your habit all day long. You should be doing it by name, recognizing and rewarding people in your organization by name. You should be doing it specific. If I went to Piper and said, man, you're doing a great job with social media, she'd go, thanks. And maybe it would mean something coming from me. Maybe it would mean a little something and give her a little boost of confidence or whatever, right? Or I could say, holy crap, Piper, you're like video at the ice hockey game and, grabbing that trend. Holy crap, my kids love that. That thing was awesome. You're doing a great job with getting people engaged in our content. Your stuff's awesome. Which one probably made her feel better? It would definitely be the second one, right? Yeah. It was specific. She knows I watched it. I'm not just going some BS running through there saying you're doing a good job.
Well, she knows what to do again.
And she may repeat it again, right? She may repeat it. I'm doing it by name. I'm doing it specific. You know what else? I do it in public. I just complimented Piper in public on the podcast, right? That means something to her, right? I also do it in private. You make eye contact. You shake their hand and look them in the eye and go, my God, Piper, the job you've done over the last 4 or 5 months with our social media and building engagement, increasing our number of, views by literally tens of thousands in your time here, unreal. While I'm making eye contact with her and pausing at the end and letting it sink in. That's not a reward even, although that's one of my favorite movies of all time. With Steve Martin and Tina Fey, I can't even think of the name of the movie, but got to find that somewhere. Steve Martin's like a crazy boss. Tina Fey works for him, and he goes, "Guy, you've done such a good job. I'm going to reward you with 30 seconds of uninterrupted eye contact." I just think that's hilarious. She had to have the 30 seconds. But I'm telling you, when you give someone a compliment, even if it's like your wife or your husband or your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your child, Give them one with eye contact and then shut up.
It's uncomfortable.
It's not uncomfortable. It makes them feel great.
I can see that.
They know that you meant it. They don't forget it. Like if you look them in the eye and go, man, Neel, I wanted to be funny, but I'm not. I'm gonna give Neel a compliment. I was like, Neel, when you showed up at my house when I was going through that time of need and spent like 20 minutes with me, I can't tell you what that meant to Emily and I. And having friends like you I'm a lucky dude. Thank you. You won't forget that compliment.
Mhm.
You won't forget to be there for someone else like that.
Yep.
I'm telling you, if you want to lead from strength, that's the way you got to recognize people in public, in private, all the time. Reward and recognize regularly. It's the same thing with like gifts and actual rewards. Giving people things, right? Don't overcomplicate it. Reward them.
Mhm.
Think about rewarding all the time. Reward great behavior all the time. If you want to lead from strength, you better recognize. I remember that was a little saying. You didn't laugh. Maybe someone online laughed at that. But you better recognize. I remember in the restaurants I used to make y'all practice, and I used to practice. I'd get that roll of quarters on a shift, and I had to go give out every quarter to employees every time I saw something good. Like none of us go into the old school leadership practice of just, okay, I've got to spend my time looking for the good today. And we all need to reset like that sometimes, right? And so get yourself that roll of quarters or that stack of $1 bills and go give it out to people every time you see something they did good. And then when you give it to them, you have to tell them why. Don't say you did a good job. Tell them exactly why they did a good job. Tell them their name. Tell them what this is why they're getting this, and do it over. And look, to get good at it, you have to practice it. And if you want to feel good about yourself as a leader, I'm going to give you a selfish one. Spend your day complimenting people. You will feel way better about yourself in the world when you spend your time complimenting. Reward and recognize regularly. So to kind of wrap up, that's the end of our 3-part series with our sub one that you could shout out and make me do. The world, in my opinion, though, guys, is full of people who want power and recognition, who want to be strong leaders, want to be the boss man, the boss babe, but we're short on those who really want to lead and do what it takes to lead. Our industry and schools, every industry, but specifically schools, is ripe with people who are administrators, but not leaders. They do the paperwork, they do the required tasks, but they don't lead. 90% of our problems stem from people that are leading from fear of your problems, or you leading from fear and from a distance when you should be leading from strength. Step up and lead from strength. So those 7 things that'll keep you leading from strength. Number 1, remember, have your core values, know them, preach them, practice them. Everybody in your organization should know. Filter all your decisions through them. Make sure they guide your decisions. Your core values are your absolute truth. Number 2, your mission, that's your compass. That's where you're going. Does everybody in your organization know your mission? And do you think about your mission every day? And all the things that you do are mission critical. You're not doing anything. You're the leader. You don't do things that aren't mission critical. Number 3, how are your quality relationships with all 5 areas of people that you need to have quality relationships with? And do you have an intentional action plan by the month or by the quarter or by the week that addresses all 5 of them? All 5 of them. It's not going to happen on accident. You have to be intentional. Be intentional about making those relationships great. Number 4, if you want to lead from strength, you better know your operating systems. You better know them better than anybody. You better study and better spend time on them. You better know. You want to lead from strength, you better know. Number 5, willing to confront. Are you willing to go confront and peel back the layers of every issue in your organization with your customers, with your coworkers, with your bosses? And, not enough people go to their boss and ask him, hey, man, did you like my report I gave you? Man, if he doesn't tell you, don't wait for the shoe to drop that he hated it. Go find out the information, right? Then you know.
Mhm.
I mean, hell, I love when people ask me, hey, man, how did I do? Now, I take it as an insult that I haven't already told them, and I get pissed off that I hadn't told them yet, right? I get mad at myself that I haven't told them yet. But there are a lot of people that walk around your company want to know how they're doing. A lot of times you haven't told them. Go confront them, tell them, be there, tell them. You got to be willing to confront. If you want to lead from strength, it's maybe the number 1 trait you could possibly have. Look, you want to be able to lead from strength, they better know you're going to tell them when it ain't going right. Number 6, be willing to take the bullets. Don't just send other people out there to do dirty work and do stuff, man. That better be you. Everybody in your company will know, hey, man, that'll jump in and do this thing. You know it. You have to fight me off sometimes. You know I'm about to take something over, right? You know I'm about to call the customer and take it over from you, Neel. And you know you stop me because you know I'm willing to take the bullets, and I'll do it. right? You're willing to go do it because I will. And lastly, man, the fun one, execute those 3 R's. Reward and recognize regularly. And make sure you're doing it. Put some practice in place so that you have that. So anyways, that was our Leading from Strength series, our 3-part series. I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you want a summary of all of it, you'll be welcome to send me an email at thad@betterbeansbranding.com, and I can give you the 3-part summary and maybe a quick things that I told y'all to have an action plan for. But we want you to keep listening. Hopefully you enjoyed that great content that we gave you today. So now, Neel, I want to thank you. Thank you for joining us today. I think my blood pressure's lowered a little bit, so I hope you have a great rest of your day, and thanks for joining us, and get on out of here.
Adios.
See you, buddy. Hey, it's time for What Thad Thinks, and we haven't done this in a while, but this is rapid fire, real quick, because I went on and on about the other stuff, and I apologize because I got all fired up at Neel earlier. But I'm going to give you a little rapid fire, this over this. Hey, if you disagree or agree, feel free to put in the DM out on Better Beans Instagram, or send us a message of any of these you disagree. I have been driving a lot lately, and I know we have these crazy airport lines, right? I've been doing a lot of my son's playing, college baseball. He's in different towns, cities, etc. And I have been traveling to these by car lately. And I used to, for a long time, these 5 or 6 hour drives, I was always flying. Lately, I've been driving it, and man, I got about a 5-hour drive. I just don't mind doing it. I'm driving 5 hours somewhere, watching a 2-hour game, and driving 5 hours home without much of a problem, and not too exhausted. I'm going to write now that airline prices are super high. Airline lines are really long. My first one, the rest of them don't have explanations. My first one, cars over planes. Cars over planes, as long as it's less than 6 hours. Hey, spring is awesome. I'm so excited about the spring right now, but fall is better. Fall over spring because of pollen. Compliments over complaints. Paramount over Netflix, for sure. Game of Thrones over Breaking Bad. Better Call Saul over Game of Thrones. And Sopranos over all of them. Greatest series of all time. Moe's over Chipotle. Chipotle way overrated. Moe's is better, and I like when they say, welcome to Moe's. McDonald's over Starbucks. That's going to throw people away, but Starbucks way too dang slow. $10 coffee. Food out of a plastic bag that they microwave. Starbucks sucks. McDonald's over Starbucks. Steak over chicken, not even close. Not even close. And finally, beer over wine. I don't get wine. I don't get $1,000 bottles of wine. Beer over wine. That's my thoughts. That's what Thad thinks this week. Hey, to wrap this up, please follow, please like What Thad Thinks. We just need your support. Same with Better Beans, who finances this podcast for us all the time. Hey, we need you to keep. When you have a branding issue, if you have a construction or remodel issue, you have any of those things that Better Beans can help you. It has helped many of us grow our business. I'll be perfectly honest with you. Better Beans, I am one of Better Beans. I am their number one customer through the years, and they have helped me grow my business time after time after time. Not only some of the best designers, best construction managers, but absolutely great people that do what it takes to get things right over there. I'm super proud of them and having them as our sponsor. Use them. They're wrapping up, I guess next week, construction will be done. They have completed a $1.2 million remodel of a building in 2.5 months. So pretty impressive down there. Hey, I'm going to throw out there personally, I am personally going to send you $50 this week. If you can email info@betterbeansbranding.com, someone you shared a podcast with whatever kind of verification that they actually watched it. So need new listeners, guys. Let's get them on there. You got $50 if you get them before our next episode. Get those in. Hey, just can't thank you enough for your continued support of this podcast. So keep supporting us, keep supporting Better Beans, and support those loyal listeners out there in their businesses. Other than that, thank y'all so much. Have a great week.